Welcome to Split the Difference, where father and son break down the past and the present. Today, we're battling it out over TV shows.
Sir.
Are the old school classics unbeatable, or does the new school streaming dominate?
50-50.
We're talking theme songs, storytelling, social issues, and more. And trust me, we've got opinions. How y'all doing out there? All right, welcome to Split the Difference. I'm one half of Split the Difference podcast. I'm Pop.
Hey, man, and I am Rich Rocky.
All right, Rich Rocky, y'all know he usually takes the lead, but tonight he decided to let me take the lead.
Yeah, man, we're going to have to let Pops talk about these TV shows. He was just so interested in watching in black and white and before 10 o'clock when the TV cut off, and we're gonna get into it. Go ahead, Pops.
Well, it's good. I guess we could start there. Today, you guys have the opportunity to watch TV all night long. But in the 60s and the early 70s, 70s, I remember at 12 o'clock, TV was off. It went.
Debate, split the difference is over. Our generation of
No.
television is better because when you want to watch TV all day, every day, when you want to have that option,
Not if it want to make me kill folk.
explain.
All right, that's what we're going to get to.
All right. Okay.
I think, and that's one of the, TV today puts a spotlight on diversity and real issues like mental health, identity. But I think the older TV's shows did something a little different. They were more family oriented, and the shows actually had meanings. I want to play a little, not a little game with you, but I want to read something to you. I want some shows from the 70s, and you tell me if you know these shows. You probably know this one, Sanford and Son.
I know that one.
What's Happening?
I know of it. I've never really watched that
You
one.
don't know about that, folks. What about, you know this one, Good Times?
Yeah, I know Good Times.
Little House on the Prairie.
I know of Little House on the Prairie. Never watched it. It was never my speed of show.
Okay. Happy Days.
I know Happy Days, I believe, just because of the theme song. Don't know too much in detail.
You don't really, that was the funds, buddy. Family Ties.
I know of Family Ties.
And I know you know Family Matters.
Yeah.
Okay, those are shows from the
Okay.
70s and the 80s. Now watch this. Watch the dramatic shift. Let's do shows from 2000, and you guys can comment if you're online, if you have something that you want to say. Shows, just some lists that I know, 2000s. You heard shows from the 80s and 70s. Now watch out the dramatic change.
Okay.
The Wire.
Right.
Desperate Housewives of Atlanta, Desperate Housewives of Atlanta, whatever it's called. Modern Family.
Right.
How to Get Away with Murder.
Right.
You see where I'm going? My side of old school TV were family-oriented shows that had meaning. Like Happy Days, you will always get a meaning that's positive, something that you can use. We had a form of bullying, but in one show, they would teach you how to deal with bullying. Okay. I don't think I would say y'all got mean TV.
Mean TV.
Yeah, it's mean everything, because you guys, the TV that shows that you have, like The Wire, which I like, the show was a good show, and I know that is real, but it never solved the problem.
Well, my overall view for this point that you're making is TV is not, I don't believe TV is something that is foreshadowing. For example, we had the episode we talk about music. Music, you could say, foreshadows, which means the guy go out there and rap something and then something ends up happening. I believe film and TV is based off of what the culture is, so they just put it into a film to be more relatable and to, of course, help their bottom line get more money. My point being this. Back in your days, and we even talked about this on other episodes, things were more family-oriented. So what sold? Things that presented family. You had people wanting to see a good black family. I know 2 or 3 of those shows you had those strong black families. So that's what sold back then. Movie filmmakers and TV show makers are not so much, sadly, not so much worried about portraying a negative or positive message. They're just worried about their bottom line. So that's why I say I believe that it's based off the culture that the writer or whomever is seeing. That's what they're putting on film.
Right. But and you use this word culture a lot. But what your culture does not understand is that the powers that be, the TV makers, the filmmakers, they they are most of the people who are telling your culture or displaying your culture, or they are not your culture. They're exploiting you.
Right.
I'm saying
That's true.
in my day, the people who wrote TV, sitcoms, shows wrote with a purpose. Not it wasn't just for money. They wanted to do a good, wholesome family show. Let me speak for the South. You know, because the South was known for its spiritual roots. Well, I guess that could be all over because he was watching shows everywhere. These United States of America was a spiritual company, a spiritual country that says, "In God we trust."
Right.
So things were supposedly at that time built around that. That's why we had sensitivity of shows. You know, certain words. We was just talking with the producers before the show. The FCC. I can remember when watching TVs, you wouldn't see you wouldn't hear the words, the S word, the D word, the F bomb, anything sexual. It was always innuendo, but never showed, because somebody understood. Like I've been saying, you guys calling it culture, but I'm telling you, you are being brainwashed and programmed to do what they want you to do, so
Right.
they can make money.
And that's my thing. They're all tied in together. At the end of the day, it's all about the money. And I even think back then, you did name positive shows, but y'all did have negative shows also back in the day that didn't display the best message to whoever would watch it.
Right.
So I think it's just a pick and choose on exactly what genre I'm guessing that you're
Well,
speaking on.
no, I would say you had, and I did some reading and studying on this, that you had shows that had some negative connotation, but you could only go and pay for those at the movie theater. They weren't on TV.
Okay.
They were not on TV. TV was strict. You like I say, you could go to the movie theater and hear some cursing, and see some nudity, but
Right.
never on TV.
I
I,
guess.
I was telling the producers, I was reading today, Barbara Eden, which was a great actress. She played on the show I Dream of Jeannie,
I got you.
a show that I loved. But they were saying this is how strict TV was then. She had a genie suit on,
Right.
but she could not show her navel. She had to cover her
And
navel.
what year was that?
That would had to be. I was watching it in the '60s, '70s, and they're showing reruns now. You can catch the reruns.
And what's crazy is I because I believe it's a fine line because between where we're at now, where you at, because it was a point in time in between that where I can remember like some of my favorite movies were not censored, but they weren't overboard as far as like just exploiting women. Like,
It's too much.
yeah, so
It's too much.
I just don't know where that change was, and I don't know if that tied into your next point, but it's just I don't know where that switch up happened because I do remember a time where it was like 50-50. You could maybe see a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but it wasn't overboard to where we're at today.
And they're only doing it to a certain set of kids. And I don't want to call it a racial issue,
Yeah.
but when you say culture, I've never seen a show of, and I'm not racial by far, but I've never seen a bunch of Caucasians sit down and talk about, well, it's our culture.
No, that's true. Yeah. Right.
You guys been brainwashed saying culture. It's
Yeah.
something they want you to believe that you have, but they're actually
Controlling it.
controlling it and selling it to you.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
they're actually controlling and selling to you. And Now, and I don't want to go off. We just I think witness some to that degree. You can have your culture, you can have your money, but it's what they want you to have. We just seen a little bit of that I think, and we're not going to get into it, but I just have to say it with the Shador scene. You can have the money, but baby,
Yeah. At the end of the day.
there is a system. I was talking with a producer, well, a manager of some big artists today, and he was saying like, there is a system. There's a system. I don't care how much money you got. There is a system. So I'm saying the culture people, if you want your culture back, if you want to stop killing each other, then maybe you shouldn't be doing The Wire. Because what happens is somebody down in Little Macon, Georgia, or Savannah, Georgia, seen the main cast and how he was rolling. I like the show. I love that show, The Wire. But now they think I'm Nino Brown,
Yeah.
and all because of a TV show. I can remember, I think it was the 80s. Joe, you might can help me, producer. Crush Groove. What? No, you can't help me because you was in New York with that mess. Uh,
Yo,
they Atlanta was doing good in music. We didn't really have a whole lot of gang stuff. We had some. But when they came out with that movie from up New York, Crush Groove,
a movie?
yeah, the movie Crush Groove, how they was everybody. New York, from what I seen, was just open and free, and you could just get on the street. You can rap.
Right.
In New York, you can even draw on shit and don't go to jail illegally. You know, paint walls and trains. You know, and some of those people start migrating to the city of Atlanta, and guess what? We became the little New York. But it all because of what we seen on TV is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because we knew nothing about that. We knew about rap. Matter of fact, they brought that street rap to this end. So I'm saying TV, programming, the culture has been programmed, but in my day, it was just positive TV.
Okay, so I loved hearing all the negative.
Negative.
I've worked with a guy named Tyler Perry a few times. You know I do acting. He has a lot of positive black things going on.
I agree.
Why, when we watch TV, why is the negative stronger than the positive? Because just like you can name me all these shows that the negative connotation is in, I can name you positive shows. So why are we? I mean, what's the issue? It can't be the TV shows because it's the same amount of TV shows. I think it's the fake culture in the mind of the person. Let's not blame the TV shows now here, because you had Fresh Prince for The Wire, you had Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was not a negative show.
Right, but I'm saying for that negative show, The Wire, you had a positive show in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So what I'm saying is, for every negative show that was on the television, there's been a positive show on the television. So why are you saying that? Because this is kind of what you're saying. You're saying that the negative is more.
Yeah, because they're giving it to you. They're giving you the negative all around. It's just not. We're talking about the TV, but then they come back it up with the commercials on the radio. You get an ear full of it.
So it's more than just TV.
But I'm saying it's more than TV. But today we're talking about TV, so
Right.
that's why I'm dealing with that. They are killing society.
Well,
with
that's
TV.
what I'm saying. You can't make that statement if we're just talking about TV. That's my point. You can't make that if we're just talking about TV. You can't make that statement because, like I just said, for every good show, there's a bad show. It's all the positive negative. It evens out.
But
So
the difference is there is a good and there's a bad.
but cut you off.
Okay.
The marketing is the
I'm not
exact
finna say
same.
market. I'm not
I
finna
know
say
you.
market.
I know you
I'm not
now.
finna say
I know
market.
you. The
I'm not finna-
marketing is the exact
No.
same for the negative and the
You
positive.
think you know me, but
I know
okay,
you.
now I'm gonna say what I was gonna say. There is a good and a bad. The difference is that I had a mature mother. What am I saying? A mature mother. My mother was of age to be able to discipline her kids. The culture has produced a lot of immature parents, meaning 13 and 15 and 16-year-old girls,
But
is
that's
not mature enough to guide their kids to the right place. So who's doing the marketing? Not the TV. The mama's doing the marketing because she's letting the kid watch what she watch. She's a kid herself. Split the difference on that, buddy. I just told the truth. Where my clap at?
nah. I'm gonna let you have that one. I'm gonna
No,
let you have that one
no.
because I don't.
My mother, our parents told us what we was gonna watch, even though,
Well,
hey, buddy, listen here. Hey,
honestly,
if somebody was kissing on TV, your parents made you turn your head.
no, the government made told y'all what y'all was gonna watch because you and the producer just said, oh, at 12 o'clock, all you heard was shh, or the TV had them little lines in it, or it was only one show at 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. So the
Yeah.
government told y'all what y'all was gonna watch.
You got that right, and they should shut y'all shit down too. Because when we woke up in the morning, it wasn't a killing on Troy Street, a killing on Butler Street. Your ass was at home sleep, wasn't nothing to watch.
Hey man,
They should shut y'all down.
hey,
You better stop what y'all doing.
I'm with it. Just long as when y'all do show something, make sure it's the one that I'm in.
And you know,
The shows that I'm in. Make sure if y'all do that, what this
this
man
is the
talking
culture.
about.
It's all about them folks.
Man,
This is the
man.
culture. It's all
What
about
I
them.
mean is positive, man. I
Well,
know that
that's
for a
what I'm
fact.
saying. Yeah,
Nah,
the
we just
TVs
playing.
went off at 12, and they played the national anthem,
Yeah.
and you went to bed. You went to bed. You know what I'm saying? You didn't stay up. Your parents make sure you go to sleep. But that's what I'm saying. The culture in parenting, they ain't got the market because a 15-year-old girl still hanging in the street. She ain't really trying. Bless the Lord. There are some that's doing it. God bless you. God bless you. And I'm not trying to come down. There are some young girls who just got caught up and they're doing a good job. But majority of them, they're raising what they know, which at 15 to 16 is nothing. I know they think they do, but it's nothing. You don't know nothing. Baby,
Yeah.
baby, you don't know nothing.
Yeah, man.
So this is with this TV, and we're running out of time. What I want to ask you a very serious question. With you, and I want you to think about it. With you being an actor, you done some stuff with Tyler Perry. I seen you on a couple of shows. Fatal Attraction.
Like I didn't tell him I had to do it. I
Well, yeah, yeah. You told me you had to do it, but a lot of folks say they be with Tyler Perry. You'll never see him in nothing.
yeah,
They
that's
extra. They go sit somewhere for all day for $125. You never see them in the movie. But the first thing they say,
$68 is over 12.
I was in the Tyler Perry movie. No, you were not. No, you were not. You were a stepping
Nah,
stone. Okay, but yeah. So yeah, yeah. So man, don't make me forget what I said.
the
Okay,
question.
the serious question. Knowing, and I don't care nothing about the culture. If I could reach down in Rich Rocky's heart, and since you deal with TV shows, what would TV look like if Rich Rocky? We know Tyler Perry did his thing on doing on BET Plus and all that. What would TV look like for Rich Rocky? What would be if you could do it any way you wanted to do it for the culture? What would it look like? What would be the scheduled programming?
I would base my scheduled programming off of and this don't like this is just my TV show. Yours can be totally opposite anybody.
It's opinion
But
based.
I have a positive I would have a positive based content show, network, whatever it is, since we're just talking about film. Meaning, I don't care if you want to come in here and express yourself through some type of violence. But when my people on my team read this script, we ought to be able to see somebody's going to get some type of story, whether it's the kid was violent, then grew up to be something, or it was violence around him and one of the main character made it out, or it's a kid with no father in the home. Just positivity has to come out. I don't want to limit people to not be creative. And that's where TV has gone wrong. We have kind of, well, I'm not going to say gone wrong, but that's why things are not as good as anymore. And we see a lot of violence because a lot of the stuff that was comedy, a lot of stuff that was drama, you'll be looked upon if you write a good drama or something like that. Like, for example, me and my cousin talk about this all the time. My favorite movie is Major Payne. But if they would try to come out with Major Payne today,
An excellent movie.
it's a great movie with a great storyline, but he could not do that. I mean, he had shaved these boys' heads bald, had them march around in dresses, clowning them. It would get looked upon, and they would probably try to pull it. So, but it was positivity. So in my network or TV shows, I would say this is allowed. It's positive, it's entertainment, and it's just freely expressing somebody with no negative
That's how
outlook.
you would do it.
Yeah,
Well, I
and like I said, that's just you hit me off the spot. And if I had time to think about it, it'd be different. But
got you. Well, I would take that, and I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna copy it and I'm gonna send it to every black producer that's on Tubi. Yeah, cause that's the culture, right? And I don't even know why I jumped into this. Tubi, just came up to me. I try to watch Tubi, but can I just get a good movie that ain't showing all this other stuff? I don't care if it's not recorded at great quality. Can I just get a good storyline? And if it seems that some of us have money because it takes money to do it,
yeah,
and I'm saying let's change the culture. Let's not let them sell us who we are. Let us be who we truly are.
the man, yeah,
Let us be who we are. And I'm going to end it with that. And like whether your TV has definitely changed, whether you are team classic or modern, drop us a comment in the bottom and let us know. But that's going to be it.
hey man, let's split the difference,
Where my
man.
theme music at? We got it out there. Hey, I love it.
There it is, man. We'll catch y'all next week. Split the difference.
The difference. Thank y'all for tuning in. Subscribe, like, or whatever they say. Holla at you. See you next week. Signing out.